Tecumseh was a visionary Shawnee leader whose life was defined by a monumental struggle to preserve Native American sovereignty in the face of relentless United States expansion. Born in the mid-18th century in the Ohio Valley, he grew up in a world of constant warfare where the traditional lands of his people were being rapidly seized by white settlers. Unlike many of his contemporaries who sought to negotiate piece by piece for their individual tribes, Tecumseh possessed a rare continental perspective. He recognized that the primary weakness of the Native American tribes was their tribalism itself, which allowed the American government to employ a divide-and-conquer strategy. His central political philosophy was both radical and profoundly logical. He argued that the land of North America belonged to all indigenous people in common, and therefore, no single tribe or leader had the legal or moral right to sell any portion of it without the collective consent of all. This ideology served as the foundation for his attempt to build a massive pan-Indian confederacy that stretched from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico. To give this political movement a spiritual heart, he partnered with his brother, Tenskwatawa, known as the Prophet. Together, they established Prophetstown and preached a message of cultural purification, urging followers to cast off European influences, stop the consumption of alcohol, and return to traditional ways of life to regain their spiritual power. Tecumseh was an extraordinary orator and diplomat, traveling thousands of miles to meet with diverse nations including the Creek, Choctaw, and Chickasaw. He spoke with a charisma that even his enemies, such as William Henry Harrison, found deeply impressive and dangerous. Harrison famously described Tecumseh as one of those uncommon geniuses who spring up occasionally to produce revolutions and overturn the established order of things. Despite his tireless efforts, the internal divisions between younger warriors who supported him and older chiefs who feared American retaliation made his goal of total unity difficult to achieve. The momentum of his movement suffered a catastrophic blow during the Battle of Tippecanoe in 1811. While Tecumseh was away recruiting in the south, Harrison's forces attacked Prophetstown. The defeat and the subsequent burning of the village shattered the aura of invincibility surrounding his brother's prophecies and scattered many of the Confederacy's followers. Seeing no other option to protect his people's future, Tecumseh formed a strategic alliance with the British at the outbreak of the War of 1812. He hoped that a British victory would lead to the creation of an independent Native American state that would serve as a permanent buffer against American westward movement. During the war, Tecumseh proved to be a brilliant military tactician. He was instrumental in the early British capture of Detroit, using psychological warfare to convince the American commander that his forces were far larger than they actually were. However, the alliance was strained by the death of his close friend, General Isaac Brock, and the subsequent leadership of Colonel Henry Proctor, whom Tecumseh viewed as indecisive and cowardly. The end came at the Battle of the Thames in 1813. After the British naval defeat on Lake Erie, Proctor ordered a retreat into Canada. Tecumseh, realizing that a retreat meant abandoning their lands forever, finally shamed the British into making a stand. In the fierce combat that followed, the British regulars broke and fled, leaving Tecumseh and his warriors to face the American charge alone. Tecumseh was killed in the heat of the battle, and with his death, the dream of a unified Indian Confederacy effectively died as well. He remains one of the most respected figures in North American history, remembered not just as a warrior, but as a statesman who fought for the right of a people to exist as a unit.